What's up, YouTube? This is Bonnie with Lewis House on the Prairie, and today I wanted to talk about the dreaded subject of meal planning. I have a few tips and tricks that I use to help make it easy for me to feed my family nutritious meals. So, stay tuned. Let's get started. So, step one in the meal planning process that I do is make a list of stuff your family likes to eat, categorized by what it is. Fruits, vegetables, herbs, starches, and meats are the main categories I use. And I just needed to get it on paper. What does most everyone in my family of 5 like to eat? So I made a list, and that helps get you started with where to go. Step number 2 is make a list of your current freezer and pantry items that you have. It might be stuff shoved way in the back you didn't know you had, so it probably would be helpful to actually just take the time, make a penned out list so you have it on paper and you know what you have to work with, what stuff is getting old, maybe star that, get that idea of what you have to work with, because that's always going to be the cheapest food, is the stuff you already purchased. And then step 3 for me, which was life-changing, is I made this theme night board, if you will, and just to give me a more narrow focus of what I'm going to make. So one night a week we have some sort of noodles. It could be spaghetti, it could be stroganoff, it could be Asian noodles type of thing, but we're just gonna use noodles one night a week for sure. Tuesdays we do tacos or some sort of Mexican night. It could be burrito bake, something along that lines. And then Wednesdays I try to do casseroles, which to me just means an all-in-one dish that's either in the oven or an all-in-one dish on the stove where you've got your meat, your veggie, and maybe your carb in there. So, and Thursdays we do soup. And it could be chili, like a really thick, hearty soup or stew, but it could be a vegetable soup that you have some garlic bread on the side with. And then Fridays, this is new, it used to be fish, but fish is getting kind of expensive. And so I'm trying to do a veggie, like a vegetarian meal that my family will eat. And so far it's been going well. And then Saturday we do some sort of rice, like a big Mexican rice, casserole. It could be pork chops with rice as the side dish, but we just try to use rice once a week. And then Sundays, my personal favorite day, is pizza night. This is so that I can rest and I don't have to work so hard. On Sunday, you can just have frozen pizzas, or you can order pizza if you want. It's a little bit more expensive that way. Or you can, if you have a lot of time on a Sunday, you can make your own pizzas for everyone and have the pre-made crusts and do more of like a family occasion of it. So we kind of enjoy that once in a while. So we just schedule in pizza and that's what we do for Sundays. All right, for step 4, you are going to have a list written out, or as I have several lists written out, of dinners that you made that everybody eats. And just basically have a favorites list somewhere. This is truly what I look at. Someday I'll compile it and write it in a nice list. So you have something to refer to when you are making your meal plan. Step 5, which I love, I discovered this double-sided list pad at my local Walmart, and it has your weekly spaces here to put the meals you're having. And then right as you're writing your meals, you can write your shopping list of stuff that you don't have on hand. So if you haven't had spaghetti in a while, Monday might be spaghetti, and you might need to get maybe a fresh tomato to pop in there just to give it a little flair. So you're gonna write that over here. And as you can see, I'm filming this on a Thursday, so our dinner tonight is going to be chili, and I try to keep on hand, I guess tip number 6 would be have a certain amount of Pantry Staples that you always have a few in there in your pantry. I try to always have diced tomatoes, tomato sauce. I try to have spaghetti sauce on hand. I also try to have canned beans on hand because they're already ready to go and they're so convenient to throw in and give a little extra protein and a little extra fiber to your meal. Other things we have on hand is cans of chicken. That's really convenient too because it's already cooked when you just need a quick dinner. Everybody's hungry. You can just make a quick chicken salad sandwich for everyone. We have some tuna on hand at all times. We get a half of beef in February of each year, so we always have a lot of cuts of beef out there that lasts us a year. My husband gets wild game throughout the right seasons, so we have that to choose from. And we raise some chickens on our own, whole chickens, but we do buy some chicken too at the store. So if you have already consulted your lists of what you always make, this is the time when you would look at your pantry on hand and maybe go to allrecipes.com. They have a wonderful ingredient search feature that's free, and you can just put right in there what ingredients you have on hand and see if any meals come up that uses those. So if you have a can of pineapples, you might want to know how to use that. You can just go right to allrecipes.com. Or if you have a cookbook that you haven't pulled out in a while, maybe low carb meals or paleo type meals is what our family's gravitating towards due to food allergies. Maybe you look through that and pick one night a week where you know you have a little extra time, you're not running to soccer practice, where you might try a new recipe once a week and try to schedule that in. That's what we try to do. I try to just do it once a week so that I'm not too stressed out on reinventing the wheel every night of the week. If you find out by Wednesday or Thursday you have a lot of leftovers still in the fridge, you can, when you're making your list, just schedule in a leftovers night instead of having 7 meals like we do. Our leftovers get eaten because my husband always packs them to lunch the next day. So we hardly ever need a leftovers night. But if I do schedule, like say on Fridays, my no meat day, I do grilled cheese and tomato soup. That's really easy to just push off and not have that and eat the leftovers instead, because nothing's going to go bad that I had to buy. I don't have any fresh vegetables that are going to expire. So that's how I do leftovers during the week, is just I play it by ear essentially and figure out which meal is easiest to push off and reschedule. Ooh, one big tip I would tell you as you're meal planning and cooking, I try to have the same meat maybe 3 times that week. So if we have a lot of ground beef or you found it on a good sale, buy 3 times the amount that you would need, cook it all on that first night. So for us, for Taco Tuesday, we just had regular beef tacos. We cooked 3 times the amount of beef that we needed. So we would have some left over for egg roll bowls. We just put some ground beef in that. And so we'll have enough left over to throw in a pot of chili. That makes Wednesday and Thursday super quick to cook because you're just dumping stuff. Your meat's already cooked. Less pots and pans that way. So the next week, if you find a sale on chicken, you would cook 3 times the amount of chicken, and you would have maybe shredded chicken tacos. Maybe you would chunk up into little square bites a couple more chicken breasts for something else, and you would have extra to make 3 meals worth and kind of sprinkle those throughout the week. I love, once I finally discovered cooking 3 meals worth of the same meat and just changing it up, giving it an Asian flair, an Italian flair, a Mexican flavor, then they hardly notice that they're eating the same meat 3 times in a row. So that was life-changing for me too. It really helped with those busy nights. If you have any questions or concerns, you can drop them in the comment box below, and I will be coming out with more tips and tricks on how we do our life here on the prairie. Feel free to subscribe to keep up with us if you want to hear more, and I will see you next time at the Lewis House on the Prairie. Goodbye.